got cheap gear. How's it going, guys? Welcome to JK is Hiking, where I'm all about hiking, backpacking, and gear. And today I want to talk to you about something that's very important to people that are trying to get into backpacking. Now, I know that when a lot of people get into backpacking, they try and go cheap on the gear that they're buying. And a lot of times that just means getting cheap gear. That doesn't necessarily mean getting good gear. And so today I want to talk to you about cheap gear that's worth spending your money on. Basically stuff that you can buy that you won't have to spend a lot of money on, but you're not going to be ashamed to have it in your backpack. Before we get too far though, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and when you do, hit that notification bell so you find out every time one of these videos drops. And that's the promo and that's the plug, and now we're going to talk about stuff that you actually want to hear. Now, when I go out to the backcountry, the first thing I like to do in the morning when I get up from a beautiful night's sleep out in the woods is have myself a cup of coffee. And one of the things that I started doing when I first got into backpacking was I did what a lot of people do. I get those single serving instant coffee pockets things, those packets, instant coffee packets, and I would put those in my hot water, and that would be my coffee in the morning. But now I'm trying to do some different things, and now I'm a little bit more of a backpacking coffee snob, I guess you could say. And one of the ways that I like to have my coffee is with a pour over, and the best way to do this is with the GSI Ultralight Java Drip. At only about $6 right now on Amazon, you can get one of these awesome little coffee filters. It's just made really well. You can clip it right onto the top of any coffee mug or cup that you bring with you out on the trail, and you literally put your coffee grounds on the top, pour the water over that, and you have yourself a hot cup of naturally brewed awesome coffee. And at only $5.97 right now on Amazon, this is just a great way to make a delicious cup of coffee in the backcountry. It's not an instant cup of coffee. It's just straight up ground coffee that tastes amazing. And I can tell you, this has been my favorite way to have coffee now for several months, at least since last summer. So a good 7 or 8 months now I've been using this, and I have never been upset with it. I was watching a video the other day of Bryce Newbold, and he actually puts a paper filter on top of this filter, so it's a little easier to clean up and pack out. That is a great option. I actually did that on my last trip up to the Kettle Moraine in Wisconsin with some other guys, and we had a great time. And actually, I found it was so easy to clean this out simply by using that paper filter. So quick pro tip from Bryce Newbold: use the paper filter inside of this filter. Your cleanup's even better. Thank you, Bryce. You're the man. To continue with the cooking theme, I'm pulling out something that I just recently purchased literally a few months ago. I talked about it in my new gear for 2020, and that is my Boundless Voyage 750 milliliter pot. This has been a fantastic pickup for me. I got this just before the start of the year, bought it at a ridiculously low price of about $26. Since then, the price has been raised. It's now $31.99, I believe, for this pot with the extra handle. But you can buy the 750 milliliter pot without this handle right now for right around $27 on Amazon, which is a killer deal for a 750 milliliter titanium pot. If you look at your pots by Tokes or some of the other big companies, Valken or any of those, you're looking at a pot that's going to cost you about $35, sometimes over $40 for a 750 milliliter pot. You can get this one brand new without this handle for $27 and some change. Killer deal on a big size pot that is durable, and honestly, it weighs next to nothing, and it has all of the features you would want in a very high-end titanium pot when you go out into the backcountry. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I have a thing for pillows. I'm somebody who likes to sleep comfortably at night, and so I always want that nice pillow under my head when I go to sleep, and that hasn't changed at all over the last 2 years. So how could I possibly have a budget gear list that didn't include a fantastic budget pillow? This is the Trekology Aloft Deluxe pillow, and it is deluxe when you consider that this is a $15 pillow that weighs 4 ounces, just 4 ounces, and has a completely removable and machine washable cover on it. Recently, I became a big fan of the Nemo Philo pillow, and one of the reasons for that is because of the soft fabric cover that was on it. I'm not a big fan of sleeping on plastic. I don't like the way it feels on my face. I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the plastic on my face. I feel like it's gonna make me break out in zits. I'm gonna look like I'm 15 years old again and I've hit puberty, and I don't even know if I'm gonna use this in the video, so I don't know why I'm talking about it. I'm just not a big fan of sleeping on plastic. It's not a thing for me. I prefer to have something that has some kind of a pillowcase on it. And this Aloft, is it a Luft or a Luft? I mean, we're gonna call it a Luft because, I mean, why not? But the Aloft Deluxe pillow is really made well. It's got a really soft, quilted area where your head lays. It's also extremely wide if you can't tell from looking at this. I mean, I could cover myself up completely. You can't even see me right now because it's such a great pillow. I found it by accident. I was actually looking for a replacement for my Nemo Philo pillow because I left it in Florida at a rental house, and yeah, it hurts. If you don't want to spend $45 on a pillow from Sea to Summit or Trekology or from Nemo, this is an incredible option for you. A soft pillow with a washable pillowcase. Washable is important because if you don't know this already, when you sleep on one of these pillows for a long period of time, they smell awful. They smell terrible, like really smell bad, really bad. It is nice to know you can wash this so you don't have that smell when you go to bed at night. It does make it much easier to fall asleep, and I can promise you, this is an extremely comfortable pillow. If you're somebody who likes to get out into the backcountry and take videos, you like to take pictures, you like to get shots of the beautiful scenery, of the animals that you see, just getting shots of your friends having a good time in the woods, that means you're probably carrying a camera with you. And a lot of people like to carry their DSLRs or their mirrorless cameras with them when they go out in the woods. The only real negative to doing that is that, for one, they're heavy, and two, where do you put them? Like, where do you put your camera when you're not taking video, when you're not taking pictures? What do you do with your camera? A lot of people like to wear these clips that fit onto the straps of their backpacks. These things can run you anywhere from $50 to $60 to $75. They're extremely nice, they're well made, and they're great for holding your camera in place, but they're not cheap. So what do? You go out and you find yourself a $29.99 alternative. This is the Puluz. This is the Puluz camera clip. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this correctly because the truth is I have no idea how it's pronounced, but what I do know is this is a $30 camera clip that performs just as well as any of the $60 camera clips that I've seen. Just like all of the other ones, it's very simple to use. It comes with a little plate that you connect to your camera that slips right into place with a little tightening knob so that it doesn't shake around while you're walking with your camera. Your camera will sit secure, and you'll be secure in knowing that your camera is not going to fall, your camera is not going to go anywhere. Another thing that's nice about the plate that's on this, it is an Arca plate, which that simply means it's the kind of plate that goes on most of your tripods. You can basically leave this on your camera at all times, and it makes it super easy for your camera to clip into any standard tripod that anyone's using. When I bought this, I was a little concerned because of the price, because I wasn't sure what the build quality was going to be, but this is an all-metal design. It's got some weight to it, which I know some people don't like that, but for me, if it's going to hold my camera into place, I want to know that it's going to be sturdy and that it's going to hold it there, and I don't have to worry about my camera slipping and falling. This is a fantastic piece of equipment, and I will tell you, if you're looking to buy yourself any kind of a camera clip for your backpack, you need to check this out. P-U-L-U-Z camera clip. Now, if you are backpacking, that also means you're doing something else, and that's hiking. And if you're hiking, that means that your feet are taking some wear and tear on the trail. So it's important that you take care of your feet. And one of the ways you do that is by buying the right kind of socks. Now, when you first get into backpacking, you may just go out there and wear whatever socks you have with whatever tennis shoes you have or sneakers or boots or whatever it is you're out there with. And if you try and do longer miles, you start to find out that your feet rub, that you sweat a lot, and that you start blistering. And blisters are the enemy of anybody who goes hiking. But hiking socks are not cheap. As a matter of fact, some of them can cost anywhere from $25, $30 a pair to upwards of $50. It just depends on what kind of socks you want to get. But if you're getting into it for the first time and you want to protect your feet, but you don't want to have to spend insane amounts of money to do it, then what you need to check out is Wildly Good Socks. Wildly Good Socks is a small company that has been putting out socks for just a few years now, but their socks are made with merino wool. And anybody who you talk to in the backpacking industry will tell you that the standard fabric that people use for their socks is merino wool, because merino wool does multiple things. 1, it fights off friction. Friction causes blisters. 2, it fights off sweat. It wicks the sweat away from your feet to try and keep your feet dry, because when your feet get all pruny and you move a lot, you're probably going to blister. The third thing that merino wool does is it keeps the stink off your feet. It's odor reducing. It's made so that your body doesn't smell nasty, so your feet don't stink so bad that you run off all the people that you wanted to take backpacking with you. These things are made with some quality material. When I bought these several months ago, I got them for $10 a pair off the Wildly Good website. The normal price is $14.99 for these. I was able to get them for $9.99. And if you go right now, I believe it's March 12th, 2020, you can pick these bad boys up for $10 a pair. And I can promise you, you can't go wrong. For $10, this really gets you into that budget-friendly zone of being able to buy quality socks without having to break the bank. For the last few months, I've been backpacking in pants. In the summer, in the spring, in the fall, early fall, I typically am backpacking in shorts. But when it's cold out, I do like to wear pants. And pants can run you anywhere from $45 on the low end to upwards of $150, $200, and even more for backpacking pants. So here's the conundrum. If you're gonna wear pants, but you wanna wear pants that are suited for the outdoors, where can you find budget pants? In the search for some budget pants, I went to my local Walmart and I found these. I'm not gonna lie when I say these have become my favorite backpacking pants. And they're not made by Patagonia, they're not made by the North Face, they're not made by Marmot, Outdoor Research, no. These things are made by a company called Wrangler. These are Wrangler outdoor pants, and they run $22 for a pair, brand new, not on sale, outdoor pants. And I'm gonna tell you, this may be the steal of the entire video. These pants are made of a nylon and spandex blend, which if you know what that means, that simply means these things are stretchy and they don't stay wet long. They are an incredibly comfortable pair of pants. They're made with side pockets that are easy to get in and out of. They also stretch around the waist. Because you're gonna be doing a lot of hiking, if you could see this, you're gonna be doing a ton of hiking. And because you're gonna be doing a ton of hiking, you're gonna move a lot. And with movement means you're gonna need your pants to move with you. And these do a great job of that. I actually like these so much that I have 2 pairs of them. I spent $42, $43, something like that on 2 pairs of pants, when I would spend that much, if not more, on 1 pair of pants to go backpacking in typically. Of all the items that I've talked about in this video, this will probably rank number 2 on just pure value. But the number 1 item on this list is actually a repeat from last year. There are some things out there that are mind-boggling that they can be the price they are for what they are. And the only item I'm repeating from last year's video is one that is that item. Who makes things that come in this cheap? Who makes things that are as quality as this, that come in at a price like this? That item is the Aegis Max UL sleeping bag. I am not the only person to ever talk about this sleeping bag. This is an $80 down sleeping bag. $80 down sleeping bag that weighs in around 14.5 ounces. What? When you take this and compress it down, it will actually be about the size of a water bottle. This is the most impressive deal you can find in budget gear in the backcountry. To this day, I can't find anything that comes close to matching this in build quality, in the cost, in just what it is. You try to find a sleeping bag that weighs 14 ounces, that you could sleep in down to about 40, 45 degrees, and still only costs $80. This is just the craziest deal. One of the things that I love about this sleeping bag is the fact that it's rather big around the shoulders. If you could see this. I'm holding this out. This goes way past my shoulders. And so it's made very well, but it's also tapered down so that you're able to stay warmer inside the sleeping bag. Another thing that I love about this sleeping bag is that you can take it and you can actually make it double as a quilt. Simply by unzipping the sleeping bag and wrapping it around you, it becomes a quilt. You can use this in a hammock. It's so hard to use a sleeping bag in a hammock because most sleeping bags just make it difficult to get into when you're in a hammock. But this guy works like a sewn foot box quilt when you use it in a hammock. This thing is awesome. At $80, the Aegis Max UL sleeping bag is my #1 budget item. This has just stood the test of time. This is gonna be 3 years old here real soon, and it's still holding up. This is a great option for you if you're wanting to get out into the backcountry, but you don't want to spend a ton of money. So there it is right there. Less than $200 for 7 items that you could take into the backcountry with you tomorrow. What kind of gear are you taking out to the backcountry that you would consider budget gear? What kind of things have you bought at rock bottom prices that allows you to get out into the backcountry and get out into nature and enjoy the beauty of God's creation? I'd love it if you would list those below in the comments. Let me know what budget items you've purchased in the last year. It may be something that I want to go get. Thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, stay strong, hike long, and I'll catch you on the next go-around of real coffee. Why is the thing over here? Come on, follow me. There we go. And your nose is stopped up, and you say typically like 57,000 times to continue. Wow, you're a loud truck. If that's not enough, it also comes with a lid because, you know, titanium pots need lids. That budget pillow that makes my nose itch. Probably giving myself coronavirus right now because I'm rubbing my nose. I promise I don't do cocaine.